Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. And in today's first clip, Panaman here, in the American Tier 10 heavy tank, the T110E5, is about to have a very special game here on Derpenberg. But, well, it's Derpenberg. Special games are what this map is all about. However, things are probably not going to end the way you might be expecting. Nobody's going to drown themselves. At least if they did, I didn't notice. But this is definitely going to be one of those special matches. In fact, this one is so special, I'm not even going to bother giving a blow-by-blow commentary because it's going to be a complete waste of time. As you'll see for yourself, very, very soon. We may as well just admire the scenery, because that's pretty much all that Panaman's going to get to do. Oh, very nice. Aircraft getting shot down there. Crashing in flames. Tell you what, we'll give Panaman control of the camera back. We'll give him something to do before this match ends. Nice little flak 88 there. Hey Panaman, look at that. There's something for you to shoot at. Although you're never going to penetrate it at that angle. Although even hitting the Jaegeru through that tiny gap there was pretty impressive. Oh, Panaman, don't waste your ammunition. That stuff's expensive. You will regret it. Now there's something that you can actually shoot. Although you're going to have to hurry. Are you paying attention to the cap timer at the top of the screen? Yeah? Yeah. Game over. Thanks for turning up. Match over from start to finish in less than 2 minutes with one vehicle destroyed. And with his quadruple experience boost for the first win of the day in the T110E5, Panaman came away from that match with the grand total of 444 experience. Only one player on the losing team managed to get more than 90 experience out of that match, and frankly, I think even that was being a bit generous. You ready for more of the same? Well, not exactly the same. Similar, but different. This is Gold Squad Leader, and he's in a Progetto 46 platoon with Kerrelman. We're here on the Siegfried Line map, although the map that he's on is going to be almost as irrelevant as the map that Panaman was on in the previous battle. Again, this match is going to be over pretty quickly. But there is still time for a little bit of drama and street theatre. Matches in World of Tanks are usually full of people who have very little idea of what they're doing. But they're often also full of people who have some idea of what they're doing, but they have no idea what the rest of their team is doing, which is almost as bad. Players like the EBR75 FL10 over here, who's scouting a whole bunch of tanks that nobody on his team is in a position to shoot at, and scouting them very badly because he died almost instantly, as did the Senlak, who was committing the same mistake that he was. Now that's not to say that they're completely blameless. In fact, I'm going to blow the map up here because what's happening on screen is largely irrelevant. The EBR75 FL10 is now cursing his team for being a bunch of noobs. And he's right, his team are a bunch of noobs. They've left the western end of the map completely open, and the only person in a position to shoot at any of the targets that they briefly spotted is a tank destroyer who saw the two scouts die and is very wisely running the hell away. But if you could see that, why did you rush out into the middle of the field? You've got nobody to blame but yourself. At the same time, the enemy team have committed exactly the same error, except over here, on the eastern end of the map, there's nobody defending their base. And so Gold Squad Leader and Kerrelman in the Progetto 46 I was going to say division, I've been playing too much World of Warships. In the Progetto 46 platoon, have an opportunity to catch the enemy team in a crossfire. Or they would have if the other members of their team were capable of staying alive for more than 30 seconds. Because you see, for it to be a crossfire, you have to have other friendly tanks on the other side of the enemy tanks that you're shooting at. And looking at the rate at which Gold Squad Leader and Kerrelman's team are hemorrhaging tanks, that situation isn't going to be true for for very long. So some brave soul makes the decision, or suggestion, maybe we should cap. Under most circumstances this early in a battle, that would be a horrible decision. But given that hardly anybody, except for this extremely brave AMX CDC, appears to care about the fact that their base is being capped, and they've lost 8 teammates, maybe capping out might actually be a very good idea under the circumstances. Luckily for Carolman and Gold Squad leader here, the enemy team were mostly too busy savagely kicking the rest of their team to death to give much of a shit about the fact that they were about to lose, and in fact have just lost, despite the fact that they're 9 kills up after 3 minutes. So it's a pretty miserable win for Gold Squad leader and Carolman, but, well, a miserable win's better than a top quality defeat any day of the week. So, who's ready for today's main event? This, and I love his name by the way, is Tryhard Much in the SU-130PM in a standard battle on the Westfield map. Don't see many SU-130PMs. Well, that's not true. I mean, they're far from ubiquitous. You can only get one of these things by completing the Winter Challenge event, but enough people completed it that you do see a fair few of them. But I've never featured an SU-130PM replay before, and yet I've certainly seen plenty of these things in other people's replays, either on their team or the enemy team. And the one thing that does seem to stand out whenever you say the phrase SU-130PM to me is utter clown shoe. I mean, it's just... I can remember many occasions where people have been driving other tanks, and there's been an SU-130PM in the match, and they've just been acting in the most bizarre, like, what the hell are you doing fashion. And I can't ever remember seeing a replay where somebody on either team has been an SU-130PM and they've actually done well. So hopefully it's going to be nice to see a replay from the perspective of somebody who's capable of thinking and breathing at the same time. Right now Tryhard Much is questioning the position of the Progetto 46 over there to his right. And he's not in a terrible position. I mean, there's a lot of cover in the woods there, but it's only really a useful spot to get shots on enemy tanks over there in the eastern flank. And to be fair, the Progetto's position has led to the death of the enemy EBR Hotchkiss, but the only other visible tank is that T-44-100. Oh, UDES 3, hightailing out of there at full speed and reverse. Almost certainly flushed out from his position by the presence of the Progetto as well, so not a complete waste of time. I mean, the Progetto is proving useful in that position, even if indirectly. Tryhard Much looking for a shot at the UDES. And of course, with the 130mm gun, you completely overmatch the UDES's armour, so it's always going to penetrate regardless of the angle. Thus far, the situation certainly isn't bad. Neither team really has much of an advantage, or any advantage. Neither team decisively controls either of the flanks. Both teams are holding on and fighting. There's no gap in the middle for tanks to drive through. Right now, this battle could go either way. And then, of course, as soon as I open my mouth, Tryhard Much's team lose 2 tanks. Although, again, to be fair, they've pulled 1 kill back, so there's only a 1 kill difference here. But slightly more concerning is what's happening down to the south. If you direct your gaze, okay, so they've lost the Progetto 46 as well, but still it's only a 2 kill lead. But look at the T-71DA down to the south. There are only 2 tanks holding the south. The T-71DA, who was spotting for the Scorpion G. And the T-71DA is coming up here. I suspect maybe, I'm hoping, that he's going to sit on that hill and continue to spot the south, because the only thing there that we know of is a badly damaged T-44-100. But he's not. I'm reasonably sure we know the positions of all the enemy tanks up at this end of the map. We're shooting at them after all, so what spotting the T-71DA thinks he's going to do up here is beyond me, but the fact that he has now abandoned the south means that the Scorpion G has quite rightfully decided, fuck that. With no one to spot for me, I'm getting out of here. More importantly, he's also going to be able to put his extremely powerful gun to use, shooting at targets that have actually been spotted. Now, it's not all bad news, because that T-44-100, who was given a bit of a bitch slapping by Try Hard much earlier, has just been spotted up to the north. He was the only enemy tank down to the southeast that we knew about, but if any of those other enemy tanks up to the north have thought, hang on a second, resistance up here seems to be a bit tough, let's try flanking around the other side of the map. There's nobody there to stop them. Try Hard Much has now been joined in the middle of the map by the Scorpion G. He's got sight of a T-25 too. Nope, no luck. Pulled back in case he got spotted when firing. Of course he did. Staying in cover, waiting it out. The T-71DA appears to have noticed that the T-44-100 that was in the southeast has been respotted up to the northwest. And he's heading south again. So hopefully he's going to be able to find something useful to shoot at. Try Hard Much, waiting to see if... Yep, there he is. Got him! T-25-2 taken care of. And of course, firing again from the same position. He got spotted the first time. He got spotted the second time. But he'd already taken that into consideration and was pulling back into safety. There's only a 1 kill difference here now. Again, this match is far from over. Although despite the fact that the team have held on well up to... Oh shit, spotted. Hang on, hang on. Yep. Don't know who it is who spotted you, so move. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, they're starting to crumble up to the north now. I mean, the remaining surviving friendlies up to the north have done well to hold on for as long as they have, outnumbered as they are, but in the process they've lost so much health that they're starting to crumble. That kill on the VK was obviously useful, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Scorpion G's heading north, but like the SU-130PM, the Scorpion G's the kind of machine that's best used firing from stealth, and if you're getting that close to the enemies, there's not an awful lot of stealth involved. So I really think that the Scorpion G at the moment is just reinforcing failure. Try Hard Much falling back to a position from which he can still shoot, but which he can also evacuate from in a hurry if he needs to. Gets the kill on the KV-5 and gets spotted, and that's the benefit of this position. Unfortunately, this is where things start going very, very bad very, very quickly. The surviving friendlies up to the north are pretty much all one-shot kills. And the T-71DA, if you divert your attention to the map for a second, has found... He's almost at the enemy base, and he's found something to shoot at. Unfortunately for him, and everybody else on the team, what he's found are 2 extremely dangerous tank destroyers. He's caught in a crossfire between the 2 of them. The Scorpion G is the one that kills him, and yeah, Try Hard Much is now the last surviving tank on his team against 6 enemies. 6 enemies who he momentarily lost sight of because there was nobody left alive to spot them, and who are all rushing victoriously south because they think it's all over, which leads to an early bath for the T-44-100. He does take a hit in the process from the enemy SU-130PM, who's charging right at him across that open field. Now, this isn't a great spot to fire from under these circumstances, but does that guy realise that he's a one-shot kill? And here comes the UDES, who manages to completely fuck it up. Oh, that was epic. Oh, wait, here comes the T-103 on 4 health. Yeah. Well, it was really nice of the enemy team to all come at him one at a time like that, wasn't it? And he's gone from 6 against 1 to 2 against 1. But there's been plenty of time for that Tiger P. Oh shit, yeah, there he is. Yeah, not the fastest tank in the world, but there's been long enough for him to get here by now. So that's not good. How much damage did the Tiger P do to him? 238. Yep, 240 average damage, that's the long 88. Which means Try Hard Much can probably take another hit and survive, but he couldn't take another hit from the Tiger P and the Scorpion and survive. So he's keeping his gun aimed at the Tiger P's position, who, by the way, is a one-shot kill. And judging by the way he's behaving, looks like he might be trying to troll Try Hard Much into taking a shot. at his very heavily angled upper glacis. Or perhaps I'm giving him too much credit, but, well, whether he's doing that by accident or not, it is working. He's keeping Tryhard much spotted and he's not taking any damage. And that Scorpion is still out there. That's the Tier 6 American Scorpion, not the Scorpion G. But, oh. Well, oh, you've got to be kidding. Oh, no. Well, that was unfortunate. It looks like I was giving the Tiger P far too much credit. He should have died there, coming out sideways on from around the side of the rock like that, but RNGesus said nope. And there's the Scorpion. Okay. 6 against 1. 1 against 1. As predicted, even with a high damage roll, Tryhard Much was able to at least survive a hit from the Tiger P. But now he definitely can't. Now Tryhard Much has a pretty big problem. Tiger P has a default view range with the upgraded turret, which that guy has, of 380 meters, but it could be more depending on the captain skills. Again, I've been playing World of Warships too much. The commander and crew skills. But it seems to be working. I mean, he's backing off and trying to get outside of view range. And it's working. Okay, he's knocking trees over, not ideal, but he's far enough away now, as you can tell by the circles on the minimap, that the only thing the Tiger P would have been able to see, if he'd been looking, would have been the tree falling over. He wouldn't have seen Tryhard Much. Probably. For all we know, hey, don't laugh, it's entirely possible. Maybe even probable. For all we know, that Tiger P is equipped with a camo net and binoculars. I said don't laugh. But you're laughing, Jingles. Well, okay, fair enough. You can laugh. It might be true. Still, Tryhard Much managed to pull back without getting spotted again. The scores are 14-14. There's not a lot of time left in this match. Both surviving tanks are one-shot kills for each other. Tryhard Much is in a pretty bad spot here. I mean, he's got the stealth advantage over the Tiger P. But the Tiger P has the view range advantage. The SU-130PM has a default view range of 360 meters, 20 meters less than the Tiger P enjoys. But that stealth advantage isn't really going to help him because of all of the open ground that he has to cover in order to get anywhere near that Tiger P to shoot at him. So all he can really hope is that the Tiger P makes a mistake. I mean, he couldn't even attempt to cap. There isn't really enough time left. He's as far away from the enemy cap as it's possible to get. And Westfield isn't a very big map. Even a machine like the Tiger P would be able to get to his own cap circle in time to do something about it. And you don't want to be sitting in an open cap circle when you have this little health remaining. So I think he's just working his way around, trying to regain vision of that enemy heavy. Oh, he spotted him, and he hasn't been spotted in return. The stealth advantage is proving to be useful. Looking at the way the Tiger P's moving around, it looks like he knows he's been spotted, but he doesn't know where from. Come on, give us something to shoot at. Come on, do it. There it is. And once again, RNGesus says nope. Once again, the Tiger P should have been dead, and by some miracle isn't. And now he knows where he's being shot at from, so he's able to more effectively take cover behind the rock up there. Well, shit. 2 minutes of the game left. Capping may have been an option earlier, but it isn't now. I guess the question here is how badly does that Tiger P want a draw? Because he's been sitting up there behind that same rock for the last 2 minutes. Nope. He's not quite dumb enough to come down and try to sit in the cap circle. Tryhard Much, repositioning again, trying to get to some higher ground, give him perhaps a better view of the rock behind which that Tiger P is probably still sitting. The issue here, of course, is that to get to the higher ground he has to go further away. So he's going to have to position extremely carefully. Binoculars up. Nope. Nothing. Is he even still behind that rock? Well, Try Hard Much is going to have to find out the hard way. And he's going to have to do it bloody quickly, because there's now less than a minute left. The clock is very definitely against him, and this thing only has a 400 horsepower engine. It doesn't climb hills very well. If the Tiger P has moved, Try Hard Much is screwed. If the Tiger P's gun is pointing in this direction, Try Hard Much is probably screwed. He's probably screwed anyway, because there's only 30 seconds of the game left and he still hasn't even reached the top of the hill. Still nobody in the cap circle, so maybe he is still camping behind that same rock, waiting for Try Hard P to make a mistake. But maybe he isn't. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. There he is. Good news, gun pointing the wrong way, caught him flat sideways on, even RNGesus couldn't deny this shot. Bad news? If you'd care to direct your attention to the battle timer, yeah, that's the bad news. Or it would be if there wasn't a 5-second grace period at the end of the battle to achieve a decisive result. And so, Try Hard Much in the SU-130PM wins the battle with an Ace Tanker Kolobanov's medal and 6,000 damage, and he won it after the battle timer expired. It is quite literally impossible for a result to be any closer than that. And that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and as always, stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you next time.